Am I audible? Am I visible? That is the very first question. Okay, children. Yeah, keep on raising your hand. And if you have anything, you can just unmute yourself and you can let me know that I'm not. Now, the tale of Custard the Dragon. Okay, the tale of Custard the Dragon. What a funny name. You might be thinking, no? The tale, the story of custard. Custard, I think it's a custard is a kind of dessert we eat, or the dragon. My goodness, the dragon, a fierce animal. What comes to your mind? First of all, let me tell you, this poem is written written from the poet is Frederick Ogden Nash. Remember this name. He was an American poet and very famous for his humorous verses. Okay, because this poem is also going to be humorous one. And he was also known as the producer of humorous poetry. He received Sarah Joseph's Haley Award in 1964. Okay, so Ogden Nash, remember this name, an American poet who is very, very famous for writing humorous poems. Okay, that's clear. Now, as it is written, let me tell you one thing first of all. This poem is written in the style of a ballad. Ballad, we have already discussed forms of poems: ballad, sonnet, elegy, lyric. You know, I have already told you in the previous classes last year also forms of poetry, sonnets, 14 lines poem, then we have elegy, death poem, then we have sonnet, lyrics, then we have other different forms of poems. So ballad, remember, a song or poem that tells a story. So basically, you are going to read a story, but since it is written in a form of a verse, a poem, that is why you will find it rhythmical. Rhythm. What is the great quality of a poem? Rhyme. Okay. It looks so musical. Means when you are reading the poem, it will really, you can sing it like a song also. And you must be familiar with ballads that narrates tales of a courage of heroism. This poem is a humorous ballad close to a parody. Okay. So first of all, as I have already told you, read it aloud, paying attention to the rhythm. Since we cannot read it aloud, you can go through some lines and then I will begin the poem. So I'm reading it this poem because it is going to be very funny. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a really truly little pet dragon. Wow, what a funny lines! As we have already known that it is going to be humorous, but how funny, how nicely, funnily it has been written. Now, basically, let me give you a small idea of this poem so that you may be able to enjoy every bit of it. Now, the poet Ogden Nash has written this poem about a little girl. And what was her name? Belinda. Now, Belinda, she has a lot of pets. And she has named her pet different type of names she has given. A black kitten, her name is Ink. Gray mouse named Blink. Yellow dog named Mustard. And a coward dragon named Custard. Wow. Ink, Blink, Custard, Mustard. Wow. What a nice, quite rhythmical. Now you will see in the poem that how the poet has described every character to be brave. Now all the characters are brave in this entire ballad, in this story, which is written in the form of verse, except the dragon who is a coward. Although dragon is the most ferocious animal, as we all know, but dragon has been portrayed as a coward animal, but the whole situation changes when a pirate, sea robbers, attacked Belinda's house. So what happens? A pirate came to Belinda's house. He is in a plan to attack her house. No one else had the guts to face him. All the as Belinda has always thought that all her pets are quite courageous, brave. But see what happened. They did not have guts to face it. And then who killed the dragon? Obviously, the pirate. The dragon killed the pirate. Now, see, when you will come to the end, all the characters are happy because they are saved by the dragon. But quickly they change their thought and they describe themselves to be more powerful if the situation had not been so confusing for them. Now, what is the purpose of writing this humorous poem? That we will discuss. But one thing I would like to tell you, that this world is full of people like the one who is genuinely showing off, boasting about their everything, even though they don't have the qualities in themselves. But what happens? Those who are having qualities, those who are genuinely nice, those who are courageous, they will keep quiet, as you can see. So first of all, read this. I'm going to read this poem, explain you the meaning, and thereafter we will be trying to find out the treasure hidden in this story. And then we will be having an open discussion where you will also share your views, that what comes to your mind when, yes, Joyet, you want to say something? That what comes to your mind when you read a story or a ballad or a poem like this? Fine. So let me explain you some lines. First of all, Belinda lived in a little white house. So literal meaning, symbolically, later on we will discuss. What does it mean? Simple. This is the story of a girl named Belinda, a little girl. The poet says that once upon a time, there was a little girl named Belinda, and she lived in a little white house. Okay, not the White House which we are having in America. Nowadays, even Trump has to leave that house. And who is living nowadays over there? You know the new prime minister, president's name? Who is the new president, elected president of America? Class 10, general knowledge question.
Joe Biden.
Yes, very
Joe
good.
Biden.
So Belinda was not living in that White House. So don't get messed up and confused. Fine. There Biden is living. Earlier Trump was living. Okay. She had a very sweet little White House with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse. And yes, he has some pets also. What was that? A little black kitten and a little gray mouse. Wow, what a contradictory animal she has kept, kitten and little gray mouse. So in the her White House, she has some creatures who were their pets. That was a black kitten, a gray mouse, and a little yellow dog. My goodness, what a nice color. Black kitten, gray mouse, yellow dog, and a little red wagon. Now, what is this wagon? It is actually not a pet, not a living creature, a vehicle which is used for transporting goods. Okay, wagon. एक vehicle है ये. And a Relio, Trulio, little pet dragon. Now, what does it mean, Relio and Trulio? Now, listen carefully. This Relio and Trulio means really and truly. Now, why the poet has used, why he has used this word? You know about in the poems, if you can change, you can twist the word according in order to give it a rhyming scheme, because that is permissible, that is allowed, which is also known as poetic license. बताया था ना मैंने, poetic license. So
Yes.
that is why the poet is twisting the words, changing the spelling in order to make it more rhythmical, so that you may be able to sing it as a song. And that's why it is Relio, Trulio, Little Pet Dragon. So, and really, that means it was not a fake story. Dragons to khatam ho gaye, but here the poet is emphasizing on this fact that, and really, truly, little pet dragon. So how many pets Belinda was having? Black
Four.
kitten, gray mouse, yes, yellow dog, and little pet dragon. So 4 pets she was having. And colors, so dekh lo, black kitten, gray mouse, yellow dog, and little pet dragon. Now, okay. Now the name. Okay, let me discuss some literary devices also. देखो सबसे funny part क्या है ballad का कि it is a story but written in the form of words, so you can very well see the rhyme scheme. AABB, house, mouse, wagon, dragon. Clear? Then you can also see repetition hai. One word is being repeated. Little, 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 little. How many times? In one paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times little word is, okay, repeated. That means to emphasize, yeah, it's a little story, little Belinda, little Clinton. Then we have anaphora, वो तो आजकल देख ही रहे हो, repeated words of use at the start of 2 consecutive lines, and a little and a relio. Then refrain also, relio, trulio, you will find out in most of the, और बार तुम्हें क्या मिलेगा? Refrain, relio, trulio, okay, that you will get. And as I told you, poetic license. The spellings have been changed to create a rhythmical or musical effect. So we have relio, trulio. Clear? Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink. Now we are going to know the name of her 4 pet. सारे pets का नाम पता चलना चाहिए. What was the name of all 4 pets? Let us see. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Plink. Wow. And the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard. But the dragon was a coward, and so she called him Custard. Custard, coward, you all know, weak. Mustard, to pata hai yellow color. So the poet is trying to explain the name of all the pet, which was obviously tamed by Belinda, and how he is saying that the black kitten is Ink, the name of grey mouse is Blink, the little yellow dog had yellow color, and so she calls him Mustard. Yellow mustard है इसीलिए mustard बुलाती थी. And the dragon, that was a coward, weak, kyer, and so she called him Custard. So once again, you can see how nicely she has, एक alliteration आ गया है इसमें. See, in this paragraph we have 2 different new literary devices. One is simile. Who will tell me where is simile? Simile कहाँ है?
As sharp as mustard.
Very good, very good. And the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard. So whenever we have the word like as or like, they are simile. Okay. So as mustard. And then we have alliteration. Who will tell me where is alliteration? Batao fatafat. Come on, quickly. Alliteration. Children, are you listening? No one can tell me. Alliteration. But the dragon was a coward and she called him Custard. Coward, custards. Okay. And once again, we have little word repeated again and again. So now let's move to the next stanza. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth. See how nicely the poet is trying to explain the physical appearance of dragon. So Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath. Mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and Relio Trulio daggers on his toes. My. Now, what are these spikes? Spikes, so you all might be knowing. Boys, you are very fond of making spikes, no? पता है ना? Thin pointed surface. Scales, we have the thin bony plates, the skin जो reptiles को protect करता है. Underneath, below, fireplace, we all know fireplace. So just pen portray a dagger पता है क्या होता है? A sharp knife. So you can very easily
खंजर.
just हाँ, you can pen portray. जरा थोड़ा सा visual imagery करो. You would have seen these kind of characters in the comic books because this is not the real character. It's a fictitious character. So imagine what type of character he might be. So I once again, the poet is describing the dragon that it had big sharp teeth and spikes on top. That means its skin was pointed on the top. And on the lower part, It had scales which were bony plates to protect the skin, the scales underneath. His mouth has been compared to a fireplace because it is assumed that dragons can release fire from mouth in the stories, in the fictitious stories. Okay, you can just get this idea that they can take out fire, जैसे हमारे joggers करते हैं. You would have seen in circus also. Even his nose is compared to a chimney which is used to pass out smoke. His feet are like sharp knife, that is daggers. Toes are like daggers. Really, truly, oh, that means really, truly daggers on his toes. So when we all see, when we mix up all these kind of physical appearances, features, then what do we get? A very scary, quite ferocious, no animal. Okay. Now once again there is a simile. Who will tell me where is a simile? Who will tell me in this
Like a
stanza where is a simile?
mouth like a fireplace.
Yes.
Mouth like a fireplace.
Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Dragon's mouth is compared with fireplace. Mouth like a fireplace. And then metaphor. आप बताओ, where is metaphor?
Chimney for a nose.
Very good. Who is this? कौन बोल रहा है? Very nice.
आकाश तिवारी.
Okay. Very good, Akash. Well done, beta. So chimney for a nose. देखो, you might be knowing that simile is what? Indirect comparison. देखो, indirect simile को क्यों बोलते हैं? Because there is always as or like. जबकि मैंने हमेशा बताया direct comparison. नहीं. Metaphor is known as direct comparison. याद रखोगे, okay? So metaphor, chimney for a nose has been directly compared. Chimney as a nose as a chimney. And indirect is as or like. So simile is generally teachers are also saying, I also told you last year, because in order to make you understand. लेकिन हमेशा ऐसे बोलो, metaphor is direct comparison because we are not using any word, and simile is indirect. So chimney for a nose is a metaphor, and dragon's mouth is compared with fireplace, mouth like a fireplace, that is a simile. We have rhyme scheme सबको clear है. Refrain is also there, realio, trulio. Now let's move to the next stanza. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears. Belinda was Belinda. Now the poet is comparing, explaining the inner strength or the bravery of each and every characters. Okay. So first of all, he is saying Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears. Barrel, you know, a big used drum. Full of bears means very strong. Group of bears. यहाँ barrel full of bears is symbolizing, signifying that as brave as a group of bears. Bears, you know, they are supposed to be very brave, very strong. बहुत strength होता है. And ink and blink chased lions down the stairs. Oh, quite an exaggeration. बहुत exaggerators है. That ink and blink means who is ink and who is blink? Kitten and mouse. Chased lions down the stairs. Very bad. So even ink and blink are so brave that they can easily scare lions, hunt lions. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a race. Mustard, who is mustard? Yellow dog. And a dog is so brave, so that he can, here it is shown the brave. First of all, we saw the bravery of kitten and little mouse, that they can chase lion. Even the dog was so brave that he can make as an angry lion. Okay. But, in contradiction, Custard cried for a nice safe cage. But to contrast of all of them was Custard, our dragon, who has been portrayed as such a ferocious animal. But Custard the dragon was not brave. He was so afraid of everything that he always demanded a nice safe cage. Mhm. So see, this is the funny part of the poem, that the poet has compared kitten, mouse, Belinda, dog, everyone with that they are extraordinary, excessively, strong and courageous and brave creatures. Whereas our custard, who was known to be the most ferocious animal, is so coward that he always demanded a nice, safe cage. Okay. Now again, we have uh, as as brave as Beryl. We have simile. We have alliteration. Belinda was brave as a barrel full of beers. कितना B है देख रहे हो? So alliteration is also there. Belinda was as brave. And then we have simile, because her bravery is compared to, in single line, we have two literary devices. That her bravery is compared to that barrel full of bears means a drum full of bears. And Mustard's bravery is compared to that of an angry tiger. Okay, as brave as a tiger in a rage. Okay, so let's move to next stanza. Belinda tickled him. Tickling, tickling. टिकलिंग समझते हो? टीज, यहाँ पे टीज समझ लो. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him mercifully. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. Now, what is this? I will explain you. They all sat laughing in the Little Red Dragon at the Relio Trulio Cowardly Dragon. Now, see, since Belinda found him that he is the most coward animal, so she was always making fun of whom? She was making fun of Custard the dragon. That was her way. She was always making fun. And then we have Ink, Blink, and Mustard. They rudely called him Percival. Now, what does this mean, Percival? I will tell you. Actually, it is a name of a knight in King Arthur's court who is defamed for his actually he was also very brave later on in the later story, but he was also known to be very quiet and who always run away from his responsibilities. But later on he proved himself, as the story at the end of this poem you will also see that what dragon is going to contribute. So it's a name of a knight soldier in the King Arthur's court. Okay, so they were always calling him, rudely calling him. So Belinda, she used to stroke the dragon in a very cruel, unmerciful. That means she was not having any mercy on him. Unmerciful, rudely, cruelly. Even Ink, Blink, and Mustard made fun of him by comparing him to a knight named Percival, who was thought to be brave but ran away due to lack of courage. So basically, King Arthur's court, there was a knight and who was defamed because he ran away at the time of war. It's a story actually. And so you have to remember, if the question comes in examination that what is this Percival, you will simply write down a knight in the King Arthur's court who ran away due to lack of courage, who was thought to be brave. People used to think that he was very brave, but when the war broke out, he ran away because he was lack of courage. So his name was defamed. And they started comparing him with this person, Percival. So they always used to tease him that, see how coward you are, and they called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon, that carriage, at the Relio Trulio Cowardly Dragon. Now, so they used to tease the dragon while sitting in the little red wagon, and really, truly coward dragon. They were making fun of him all the time. And it was going on all the time. Whenever they were sitting, Belinda, unmerciful, being very cruel, she used to tickle him. Not only she, Ink, Blink, Mustard, they also not only tickle him, but called him, compared him to Percival, a knight in King Arthur's court who is defamed because he ran away due to lack of courage. And they used to sit and they they call him, they tease him. Now see the literary devices. We have refrain, rulio, trulio, repetition, word, use of word, tickled him. Okay, tickled him, merciful. Okay, tickled him, she tickled him, Belinda tickled him, she tickled him, because they wanted to emphasize, emphatic. Okay, and then we have personification, ink, blink, mustard. They rudely called him Percival. So in this manner, listen children, time is getting over. So we will continue this poem in the next class. And if you have any query, you can just ask me now, or maybe in the next class, you can ask me. It is clear now? Till now, all the lines and stanzas are clear? No problem? Do you have any problem? Then I'm ending the class. In the next class, we will continue this poem. Fine?